Yo, welcome back to Watch Chief Cook. I'm Chief. Today, watch me cook a spaghetti squash, like spaghetti noodles, with homemade pasta sauce. It's going to have that Italian, authentic flavor to it, but still give you that at-home taste. Like not canned or store-bought sauce, and the noodles, you don't have to worry about any gluten. It's going to process through your body how it should, because it's squash. And it's going to taste great. Don't even have to worry about the al dente of the pasta. It's going to take care of itself this time. So stay tuned. We're just roasting a squash, blending up some tomatoes, seasoning it right. But it's a super easy recipe that you won't want to forget and you'll always remember. Stay tuned. So we start with our spaghetti squash. This is like a medium-sized spaghetti squash, I'd say. But I'm trying to take this sticker off. And I thought I'd make mention of this. I think this is stupid. I think that these, excuse me, I didn't mean that because I know my daughter's going to get on me for saying stupid. But I don't think this is the smartest way we can do this by identifying what the vegetable is. By putting these stickers with all the sticky stuff on it, it's really annoying. And I think that we could figure out a better way. I think we can figure out a better way to do this. Besides me having to cut off a part of the vegetable to remove the sticker that they put on it for the purpose of selling it for more money. We got to figure something out, like a biodegradable tattoo or something that can go on the stem, or I don't know. I worked in produce before, but it just doesn't make sense. Why put it on there? They put it on everything. They put it on zucchini squash. I mean, everything. But, bam. It's that easy to open a spaghetti squash. This is one of the easier squashes to take the seeds out of because the seeds are big and the flesh, this little fleshy portion of it that's holding the seeds is like the inside of a watermelon. So you just take a spoon, just like all the other ones, and carve out the seeds. This older lady today told me I was long-winded, so I'm going to talk less. And I appreciate her opinion. But there you have it. Simple. Most of the squashes, I think, they smell kind of funny inside, but spaghetti squash has a nice edible aroma. End quote. It just pops right out. You just scrape it against a hard portion of the squash. You can tell what's going to scrape out and what's not. And you don't really have to worry about scraping too much because you'll know when you start to scrape the part that you're not supposed to. It'll be tough. And I've never eaten spaghetti squash seeds, but if you have, let me know in the comments. Next, I just want to take some, my preference is olive oil. I know it's, there's a level of heat, a threshold for heat that olive oil shouldn't go past, and we are going past that temperature today. But I like the flavor of olive oil, especially with Italian food. It's my preference. So we're gonna do some of that, and I'm gonna use garlic granules. And just sprinkle a few garlic granules in here. And I could use a little bit of fresh garlic in here as well. So I'm gonna crack a bit of fresh garlic. And I want to move these so my garlic papers don't end up in everything and such a mess. Garlic. And if you didn't catch it before, that's the easiest way for me to pop these little papers off of the garlic is by pressing them. They have a point, they're like curved, like a little teardrop. You just put that hump side up so it's got a little arc, and you just press it down until you hear it pop, and that's usually when the paper slides right off. But I did show you that little sleeve, that little silicone sleeve that I had all nifty, and we used it the last time we OD'd on garlic, because I used so much garlic in that butternut squash recipe that the next few days I was detoxing on garlic. My stomach was in knots. I had a lot of mucus all in my nose and congestion with my sinuses. So you do want to be careful of how much garlic you use. I'm definitely going to be mindful today of how much garlic I use in this. This garlic I'm going to use for the sauce mainly. So I'll roast it in the oven with my squash, and I'll then add it to the sauce later on. So I'm just going to crush those a little bit to release that, whatever the enzyme is in garlic. I've heard that it needs to be released before you can cook with it and use it and digest it. And if you didn't catch the last time we used garlic, I've also heard that garlic is used or was used back in the war times when they would shoot people with bullets out of guns, because I know they don't do that anymore, but they would rub garlic on the bullets because the garlic, when it touches a wound, it won't allow it to heal. And that's just what I heard. I haven't ever tried it. So bam, we got the garlic, we got the squash, we got our pan. We're going to preheat our oven. I'm just going to preheat the oven to just under 400. And then I'm going to rub the olive oil into my squash with that garlic powder and just get it coated on everything, and then put them face down in a glass dish or on a baking sheet. Just get that nice and rubbed in there like a back massage. Yep. Mr. Watson. There we go. I'm going to throw a couple of these pieces of garlic underneath. And throw that in the oven to let it roast in there for a bit. Okay, and we're on to the sauce. Okay, so for the sauce, you want Roma tomatoes, preferably, once again, organic. And just take the top off and half it like that. Sometimes I might cut them in half one more time if they're big. This is a larger Roma tomato, and then just set it to the side for a second. right, so that's all you need to do with the tomatoes. Try to use or waste as little as you possibly can, but you want bigger chunks of tomato because we're going to take these and put them right into the pot like this. And just organize them around like so. There is kind of a method to how to put the tomatoes. You kind of want to make a circle. And I'm not doing a very good job of that right now, but I will soon. I'll get it together. But you essentially just want to make like a little campfire in here of tomatoes. And let them all kind of simmer in together, and you could stack them on each other like this. But it's all kind of directed towards the center, where you're gonna throw a couple of garlic. Just like that. And then I'm gonna salt these tomatoes. Throw some onion powder in here. A little bit of dill. I like to put some dill in my sauce to counter that acidity. And a little bit of oregano. And a little bit of cayenne pepper. The last ingredient that you're going to want to add is a bit of olive oil. And then we're going to put this on the stove. It's going to, well, that was about 3 or 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Then we're going to put this on the stove. It'll be medium high with the lid on it until it's kind of simmering and boiling down. And then I'll meet you guys right back after that. So this boiled and simmered, and I turned the heat down on it now just to show you that there'll be some skins from the tomatoes. I don't mind this because we're going to blend it up. But if you wanted to take the skins off, you'd want to stop before it gets too far unless you have the ability to pick this out. But I'm blending it, so it really doesn't make too big of a difference. But stir it around, get those juices all mixed together. Your tomatoes should be nice and soft and tender by now. And then I'm just going to transfer that into the blender right over here. It's a little hot. I kind of want to let it cool down for a second. Just a little weirded out by plastic getting hot like that, even though I've used the Vitamix a few times to make soups and things like that. While I have the chance, because I haven't been doing much talking on this video, just to switch it up just a little bit, I do want to say it's been on my mind today to make mention that if you're in a place in your life where you want to do more, do more. If you are knowing that, you're having to take medications, or you have back pains or knee pain, there are ways that you can heal yourself without going to the doctor. And I know that sounds like some like hippie babble stuff sometimes, but literally, food is medicine. And I hear about it all day long in the profession that I have, talking to people and dealing in sales. Um, a lot of people are dealing with chronic health conditions that they could simply avoid and do better with by having a better diet. And the diets that are suggested out there are mostly for the gain of someone else financially. And yes, some of them have benefits and they work. But really, if you eat plants, I think a lot of it starts to fall in line for you. And it'll work out because you'll learn more information along the way. But it starts in your gut. It's really about what you're eating, and a lot of the health conditions that we deal with could be avoided from just changing up a few things in your diet, or just cold turkey cutting some things out of your diet. But if you needed to hear that, and you're one of those people who are stubborn and doesn't really listen to the advice, I could tell you that I've seen people who they want to live their best life, and they think they're living their best life, but they end up in a lot of pain, and they suffer. They can't have the same freedoms and liberties and independence like they did before because they didn't take their health seriously. So you can do it. I know that even if your family has had health conditions, just do a little bit more in the way of making sure that you're eating better. And that's going to be just plants. Keep it nice and simple, and it'll go a long way. Drink a lot of water with lime in it. Drink a lot of fruit juice that's, fresh squeeze, like do it yourself. Make smoothies. That's how you want to get the hydration and make sure that you're balancing out your gut and eating foods that are alkaline or higher in their alkalinity, so that you keep a balanced pH in your gut and your system, and make it easy for your body to process. All right, this has cooled down a little bit. I've done a little rant. I also wanted to say something to myself, kind of. And this isn't just for me, it's for the hypothetical me, the person who thinks like me, that's out there, that's tired of people that don't care, and feels like, it really doesn't matter a lot of the time. And sometimes that feeling makes you want to go inside your shell and not show how great you are, or not interact with other people because you don't feel like it's worth anything, or you don't feel like it actually contributes to anything. And even though that seems like it could be the reality, it's a reality. It's not the reality. So you got to move past that and know that it is actually affecting something, and it is doing something. And your interactions with other people, they send ripples through the space that we live in. Whether that energy affects them in front of you, or whether it affects them later, you definitely have an effect on people with your interaction. So just the smallest positive, or warm-hearted interaction that you can have with somebody really makes a big difference. So, do a little bit more to go outside your box. And even though you get tired, do this whole rant is about doing just a little bit more. Like, you might be that person that doesn't think that you're a people person, but push yourself to have an interaction and let somebody know that you like something about them, or that you really enjoy their presence. It doesn't have to even be something, in particular. I just enjoy being around you. You have a good presence. Or let somebody know that, I see that you're going through a hard time. And if you ever need anybody to talk to, I'm there for you. And that's the last thing that I would say to somebody, but that's why I'm saying this, because I need those people in my life. And so I'm going to be that person for somebody else. And I like that, because I know, what comes around goes around, and you gotta give to get first. And that's the way I've always been raised. So with the universe, I always, give, and the universe has always given me back. So I hear the squash popping in the oven. That must be my cue to shut up and make this food. So watch me cook. Here we go with the blender. I might add a little water. It depends on what I think I'm just going to add just a wee bit of water. All right. So just a little bit of spring water in there. That is good and blended. Oh, it smells so good. Okay. Now, the squash is coming out of the oven. This is done. It's that simple. It's literally 3 steps. You cut the squash, you boil the tomatoes with the garlic, and then you roast the spaghetti squash. You know the spaghetti squash is done when you smell it, really, to be honest. There'll be a big brown mark on it, just like you see here. Hold on, I'll give you a good view. That's what it looks like. 2 cheeks. Sunburnt. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to find something to do that with so I don't burn my hands. Perfect. 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 All right. You can kind of see how it's shreddy. Haha, get it? Sorry, dad joke. Oh man. This is making me hungry. You can see there's this little bit of garlic in the bottom of the pan. I'm going to take that and throw it in the blender and roast it. Or, excuse me, blend it. It's roasted. Haha. I'll put some under here. I can blend that up. A little bit of roasted garlic flavor. Might be a little bit over garlicked. Okay, so perfect. You can see it's nice and tender. I cook this a little bit longer than I normally cook it because I don't prefer it too hard. Pause. I like that the spaghetti squash is tender and a little bit softer. But if you're looking at it time-wise, that was around 35 to 40 minutes that I left it in the oven. And it is completely done. Okay. And now this I'm going to blend this just a bit more to chop up those little garlic pieces that we just roasted. So you can get a look-see. This is a good one for anyone who is sensitive to gluten, because sometimes it's difficult to find a good pasta that is gluten-free, but also, just tasteful. And this is not only plant-based, but it's gluten-free. And you can see that you get noodles. It's like stringy noodles. So children love it. You can, you could use it in a stew or a soup, but I've always had it this way. If you got an idea for a different way, let me know. Okay, dokie. Now for the sauce. Beautiful. And then I like to just put a little bit of basil to garnish it and finish that off a little bit. Give it a nice little aromatic touch. And for the taste test, let's get a good little bite. I'll have to blow it off a little bit. Cool it down. All right. Okay, the last time, I keep hearing about the cabbage soup video taste test. This is spaghetti squash made Chief's way. Just like always. Very yummy, easy, low workload, no dishes basically. Very yummy. I definitely suggest trying it with a little bit of cayenne pepper. Gives it a good kick. A little bit of heat. Like always, if you like this video, like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys being here. Hope you had a great time watching. And see you next time on Watch Chief Cook. See you later.